Hey, what's up everybody, Temperistic here back again for another Dead by Daylight video. Trying to get you ready for... No, I'm just kidding. The DLC already came out for Five Nights at Freddy. It's actually pretty good. The new killer is actually really good. I give him like a high B tier, low A tier, whatever. And this is the new map. We just luckily got it. I'm not going to really search into that playlist that guarantees you the map or whatever, because I like to play on different maps. But just showing you here the new map and what it's all about. It's not really a new map. It's in the same realm of another movie theater map that came with the Unknown Killer. But still a good one nonetheless. And I'm trying to upload these videos a little differently now. Instead of like waiting in the lobby for a match, I'm gonna just like start it out here and then talk about the add-ons and the perks later and see if you guys like that better. If you do, let me know. If you want me to switch back, let me know. Always read the comments section. Any comments, any concerns or anything like that. But let's talk about the killer that I'm playing with today, because still trying to get you ready for everything. Just in case you want to play any new killers. We're still going down the line, and we are doing it with one of the worst killers in the game, which is Pig. Unfortunately, I think her name is Amanda in the Saw movies. If you guys enjoy any of those movies at all. But basically, the reason why she is one of the worst killers in the game is... well, first of all, she has a limited amount of reverse bear traps that she can put on survivors, and you know, they don't really do anything until you complete a generator or whatever. Then you have a timer that starts, you know, ticking down or what have you. Okay, he must have had life. Life makes it to where you get a little speed boost when you go outside of a window or a vault location or whatever. Now it's Finesse, which didn't really work too well there. Ooh. See if we can get a hit. Swing! Alright, we got a hit. Nice. And they're going to flashlight us, blinding us. That's all good. And then I'll talk about the perks and add-ons after the game there, and see if you guys like me doing it that way or not. I kind of got a little confused there. All right, we're gonna leave her. She's looping us a little bit there. But yeah, this killer doesn't really have any thing going for her in chases, other than that right there. That's her little dash, her little what do you call it? When she crouches down, she can charge up a little dash there, which sends her flying towards a survivor. Of course, you still have to control her and everything, but yeah. But I mean, that's all she really has, is just her reverse bear traps and her dash ability, which isn't really anything to be not really anything to talk about, you know. I doubt I'm gonna get this hit here. Nope. So I would say she's a little bit better than the Skull Merchant. Just a little bit better. But yeah, I mean, you don't have to play it this way if you don't want to. You know, crouching down and everything. This actually isn't the best map to do it on. Not the best map to do it on. And it looks like we got a kill there because they didn't want to rescue their friend. So that's a little oopsie there. Oh, she has life! They all have life! No! Hey, you see how she got a speed boost there when she went over that vault, that pallet? Alright, so we're gonna down her, we're gonna hit this gen. But you know, like the... Hold on, we have to we're actually gonna... I mean, something that you can do is save your reverse bear traps until they're on their second hook or whatever. You don't have to use them immediately, you can use them whenever you want. Ooh, you put a chem trap on there, which makes it to where I get slowed down. Whenever I break that pallet. Get a little bit of snow on me. Yeah, this area on this map, that window that I just passed, you kind of don't want to loop here because it's a really long section. That is not a good pallet for him. That's why he's going to leave it. I can easily get him right there. Another pallet right here. This is also not a good pallet. We're going to break it, even though we don't have to. And if you ever watch streamers or YouTubers and they say you know, good pallet or bad pallet, that just means that it's bad for them because there's not enough room for him to loop around. Or some people call it survivor pallets or killer pallets or whatever, you know. But they're still doing a good job at yeah, that's a really bad window for me. That's a really bad window. Yeah, she still sees me. Alright, we're just gonna go around it. Oh, she slow vaulted. Oh, this is a bot, by the way. One of them quit. I didn't even realize that. Yeah, you can still outplay bots. They're not that smart. You also don't want to put a reverse bear trap on someone that's about to die when you hook them, because then you're just not going to get any value out of it, you know. But yeah, you know, compare Pig to the nurse that can teleport, or Wesker, or Hillbilly. They have so many different you know, ways of getting around the map and speed boosting and everything. We need to go back to the generator in the pizzeria to hit it. And those spikes are telling me that I can only hit that gen a couple more times. That's just a way that behavior has nerfed killers in the game, which a lot of people, including myself, don't agree with. because while they do that, they also didn't make it to where it takes longer for survivors to do gens, which means you know, it's gonna make it a lot easier. I don't know how she didn't see me. I guess my costume is kind of like red or pinkish, so it blends in with the colors there. Yeah, they're all running lithe. I mean, it's a good perk, you know. It's a wonderful perk, and she's gonna bring me to the shack. She's gonna go out there. Yeah. I'll just put my last one on, you know. This game's pretty much over. The reverse bear trap just killed YCC 1832 there. So, and then that yellow, you see how that gen went from yellow to red? That's a purple add-on that I'm using right now, and it just means that if someone is working on a gen and they have one of my reverse bear traps on, the game is going to let me know, hey, there's a person that has a trap on and they're working on that gen. So that is a pretty cool little bit of information there. So she got off the gen to go rescue the person there, and she did that because she's a bot. Bots usually have, you know, priority of rescuing people off the hook. That's just how they're designed. And I guess we'll go off the bot here. Why not? And yeah, she did that. And then I'll show you the report function. That's one thing I haven't shown you guys, is how to report people. Because this person quit. So, and they're also part of the reason why that person died on hook, even though that person kind of went go next. Here. She's teabagging me. And we'll wait for the timer to go out here. There we go. And then she quit there, which is fine. That's a new abandon feature they added in the game, where if everyone in the game is on the ground, that they can do that. And then I'll show you her Mori, which is one of the worst Moris in the game. It's I'd say it's better than Wraith. It's better than Trapper, but yeah. And also, I forgot, you don't have to wait now for the third person to die on hook. You can just start warning her if someone's on the hook and someone's on the ground. That's something new that they added, and it's fine because there's nothing they can do. So let me show you the report function here. So the person that you know, she's fine because she stayed in the game and she played. This person is not fine because you know, they quit out when their team wasn't even, you know, close to losing. So all you have to do is hit this button that has a thumbs down and a thumbs up, and you know, you can give props to this person, which makes their reputation. I don't really know actually what this does. You know, it doesn't say. I mean, I don't know if it matches them against people or with people that have good reputation, and then these will make it to where these people that are getting reported are going to get matched against similar people. I'm not sure. I've gotten a lot of messages after like the next day I hop on the game. I've gotten a lot of messages to where the game will tell you, hey, you reported this person and we just banned them. You know, so that's kind of cool when games do that and let you know that. So we can report them for harassment. You know, this doesn't really do anything on consoles because the only time there is a kind of like a chat room is before the game starts in the lobby and after the game. Before the game, that's only for survivors, and after the game, yeah, there's a box where the killer can say, "Oh, GG's," and survivors, can say whatever, and a lot of times they're talking trash, and vice versa. But on console, you can't do that. It's only for PC. So this one doesn't apply, and we can say, "Hey, they were, intentionally abusing the gameplay or trolling," and then it gives you examples in the bottom there, taking the game hostage. So people, let's say survivors aren't doing gens. They're not playing the game how it's normally supposed to be played. Body blocking. This is only for survivors. If a survivor is blocking another survivor from going somewhere, then they're essentially working with the killer. And then exploits, this is talking about cheaters. There are a decent amount of cheaters in the game, unfortunately. Usually you're not going to see them unless your MMR is high, but most of the time you're going to be pressing the unsportsmanlike one. So if someone's not playing, if they rage quit, just like in this game, idling, which is the same thing as AFKing basically, and if they're refusing to participate in normal gameplay, which kind of ties into the griefing. So we're going to do that because she quit out, and we're not going to do that to her because, even though she did quit out, technically, no, she did not quit out. She abandoned, which is a legal thing that the devs put in the game recently. So, let's say that you down all 4 survivors and they're in the dying state. You may see them all quit out of the game, and that's just something that behavior put into the game. For, I guess, anti-slugging, where even though it doesn't stop people from slugging. But, okay, let's talk about the build that we were running here. So, yeah, her power, it's called Jigsaw's, baptism. Basically, at the start of a game, just like Trapper, you spawn with bear traps, but they're reverse. If you've watched any of the movies, you know what reverse bear traps are. If you haven't seen any of the Saw movies, I highly recommend them. They are awesome. But there is a lot of gore in them, so if you're not too good with blood, then I guess I wouldn't recommend them. But yeah, as you saw in the game, after I downed someone, I was able to put a bear trap on them. You can only put them on if they're in the dying state, on the ground, crawling. And then after that, they get up, and there's going to be these jigsaw boxes around the map. You may have seen them. They're in white, and people can go around the map and go into them, and they're looking for a key that will automatically, once they get it, remove the bear trap, and if they don't, then it'll laugh, and then you'll have to go to the next box and keep doing it. And then when a reverse bear trap gets activated, a timer starts ticking down, and one person actually died in that game. That's why you saw a different symbol. A different face or whatever. It looks similar to like a Mori death or whatever, because they didn't die on hook. And I'm not sure what the timer is. I don't know if it's 60 or 90 seconds. I think they've kind of messed with it. But you can, I'm not sure if the killer, I wasn't paying attention. I don't play Pick that much. But I'm not sure if the killer can see the timer. I know when you're playing Survivor, you can see it ticking down or whatever. Yeah, they automatically get sacrificed when the timer expires, or if they attempt to leave the trial with an active reverse bear trap. So if you have a reverse bear trap on, you can leave if you're a survivor, but only if it's not activated. So you want to make sure you pay attention to that. And how they get activated is if a gen completes. So if a gen completes while you have one on, it'll start ticking down. So be wary of that. And then you saw me using her special ability called it's just crouching. Ghostface can do it as well. But she does a little bit slower. So she crouches. While she's crouched, they can't hear her terror radius. They don't know where she is. All you have are your eyes, and while she's crouched down, she has an ambush attack where she has a decently radius to launch herself or kind of sprint towards someone, and then you do an ambush attack, which is actually pretty decent. The only problem with her is that's all she has. She can't teleport. She can't run really fast. you know, compared to other killers, she's just kind of, you know, not that good. They did give her a little bit of buff recently, decreasing her tear radius. So, you know, she is more in line with what she should be, which is a stealth killer, you know. And then the add-ons, I talked about Jigsaw's sketch. You saw one of the generators go from red to yellow, and it also makes it to where you have one more reverse bear trap, in case you accidentally, you know, put it on someone that, you know, you just killed or whatever. And then the other one is Creative Gears, which increases reverse bear trap setting speed by 50%. So if you don't have this on, it's going to be put on slower than what you saw in the gameplay here. And then it is going to make the survivor take longer to search a jigsaw box for that key by 33%, which is nice. Another good one to put on is Tampered Timer, and this will decrease the reverse bear trap death timer by 20 seconds. So if it's 60 seconds, then it's 40. If it's 90, then it's 70. And then the build I had here, you may have heard some popping going around. That's because they were cleansing the Hex Totem plaything. Basically, anytime you hook a survivor, they become cursed, and then a random dual totem on the map gets turned into a Hex Totem, and they become oblivious, and then it tells you on the bottom there that oblivious just means that they can't hear or be affected by your tear radius, which is really nice. And then the totem aura does get revealed to the survivor, so they can see where it is within 16 meters, and it's fine. There are other, you know, synergies that you can have. A lot of people run Pentimento with this, even though I do believe it just got nerfed. So this is kind of nice to pair with Plaything because people are going to be, you know, blowing you up for totems. What Pentimento does is it brings back those totems into a rekindled Hex Totem, and it puts a new ability on it. So it says while a totem is rekindled, survivors heal and repair 20% slower, plus 3% for each additional rekindled totem. So that's not bad, you know. The issue that people have with this is that I think it was a little bit more than that. And then if all 5 totems are rekindled, then they're permanently blocked by the entity and they can't do anything. That barely ever happens. So that like less than 1% of the time that happens. And the issue that people have with this nerfed perk is that they can now see where the totems are within 16 meters, which is a little bogus. If you have, you know, a decent amount of hours, I mean, even me, I have a couple thousand hours in the game, but let me tell you, a couple thousand hours of this game, that's not a lot. That is not a lot. There are some degens that play this game, all right? So what I'm trying to say, the issue with them being able to see them within 16 meters is it's not hard to find where totems are. The places that they spawn are really bad. They're out in the open. It's not hard to find totems. So I mean, you can run this if you want to, but you know, it's up to you. It's not as good as it used to be. And then Corrupt Intervention, I was running. It just means 3 gens furthest from you are blocked for 120 seconds at the start of the trial. That's why at the beginning of the game you can see that there were 3 white blocked gens, just letting you know where they are. And the perk gets deactivated when any survivor enters a dying state. It used to not be that way. It used to just run out the 120-second timer no matter what. And then Scourge Hook Pain Resonance, one of the most used killer perks in the game, rightfully so. If you're not running any generator slowdown perks, you're putting yourself at a disadvantage. And I know it's boring. You know, you have about, you know, you have over 100 perks to use as killer. So, you know, a lot of people just say, screw it, I'm just gonna have fun, I don't care about winning. But if you care about winning, you've got to run Pain Resonance, you've got to run Grim Embrace. You know, I mean, there's other gen slowdown perks like Surge that you can run, or Hex Rune. But I'm saying you have to run some sort of gen slowdown perks. Unless you're playing like a OP killer, then you just want to run like Warrior Reading. If you're running like Hillbilly, or if you're running Pyramid Head. So you might have seen some white hooks. There's going to be 4 of them that randomly spawn around the map. And then you get 4 tokens, 1 for each survivor that you hook for the first time. And then once you hook them for the first time each, whichever generator has the most progress will lose 20% progress. If someone is working on that gen, then they'll scream. And then once you have no tokens, it gets deactivated. It used to not be like that. It used to be for the whole entire game. You can keep using it over and over again. And then Grim Embrace. Each time a survivor is hooked for the first time, you gain a token, similar to Pain Resonance. Once you hook somebody, you have to walk away from them. And then once you get 16 meters away, every generator on the map is blocked for 10 seconds. And then at 4 tokens means you've hooked everybody once. It'll be 40 seconds that it's blocked. And then the Obsession's aura is going to be revealed to you for 6 seconds. So, very good perk. And this was the build we were running. And then, of course, Bloody Party Streamers for more blood points. But, yeah, that is the pig. You know, I mean, she's an okay killer. You know, she's not boring. But you kind of have to think. You kind of have to strategize when you're using her. Because she doesn't really have a lot going for her. But I hope you enjoyed the gameplay. And, you know, if you have any concerns or comments, leave them down below. And the next killer we are going to be doing is going to be the Clown. He's a lot of fun. So be on the lookout for that one. See you later.